Hello. It's a beautiful morning, from Canada. So it's good evening in Nigeria. It's good evening in the UK. It's good morning thereabouts in the US. So hello, everyone, and you're welcome. This is Relocating Right channel on YouTube. Yay! And I am super delighted and excited today because, the last time I was with KDO, guess what? I was far away in Nigeria. She was far away in Canada. And we had this beautiful conversation. You need to go back to the YouTube videos. There's so many videos there that you would really, really love to watch, giving you all the information. But I remember the one that I particularly had with KDO. I think we've had 2 videos now, right?
Yeah, I think 2.
Okay, so and they are loaded with information. And today we're ready for you. If you're here for the first time, say hi. Can you put it there in that comment section? If it's your first time, if it's your second time, if you've been here severally watching our YouTube videos, thank you so much for referring us to people, for watching, and for being amazing enough to at least get some information for yourself. Absolutely. And for your family. So my name is Tololade Somi, and this is Relocating Right. Like I said, you're welcome. I'm excited. I'm delighted to have my sister. This is Kemi Dan Owolabi. We like to call her KDO, as in KDO. Can you say that after me? KDO. Now, she is the founder of the Successful Immigrant. We call it TSI, okay? All the information about TSI is on all the social media platforms, from Facebook to Instagram, and then TikTok, on YouTube. All that information that you need about immigration, run there and start catching it right now, okay? So, but today we've got something very interesting for you, because I know, without being working in the office of the prophet right now, that you want to jackpot, don't even like.
That's why you are here.
Don't like. I know you want to jackpot.
Oh, you know somebody that wants to jackpot. Exactly, you or somebody close to you.
So if you are that person, come on, clap for yourself. And if you're not that person, fine. It's absolutely all right. I know not everyone will be interested in leaving Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, wherever they currently are, because you need to know right now, there's nothing to be ashamed about here, because trust me, it's not just Nigerians that are migrating. I recently took a course in global health, and it's actually this issue of immigration, and Kenya, honestly, it's been ongoing for several years. My mom had to go to Saudi Arabia in the early 90s. She had to go to Saudi Arabia to go work. And I'm forever grateful to God for that, because that really helps the family, the economy of the family. So this thing about migration is not a today thing. It's something that's been like...
Would you even believe that people leave Canada to migrate to the US?
Interesting. Look at that.
So it's not just saying, oh, it's Nigeria, it's Ghana. No. People actually leave Canada to migrate to the US. Yes. For whatever reason.
Yes.
So it's what it is.
It's what it is. It's what it is. Okay. So guys, if you're here right now and you know somebody who needs to hear this, but the person might not only be in Nigeria, the person might be in the UK, wherever, whatever country right now, I want to encourage you, please just put a call through to that person. The videos will always be there, but there's something about the live videos, because you'll be able to ask your questions. So I want you to get ready. Even if there are things that KDU and I don't talk about right now, I want you to please prepare to get those questions ready. And I trust God to help us to answer those questions, okay? All right, we trust God to be able to help you with those questions. KDO, I think I'd like to start from this angle. So we talked about the fact that there's a lot of movement and all that. What exactly is this about? What are people looking for? Why do I want to leave my country of residence or my place of birth?
I think the fundamental thing is, as humans, we strive for better.
I
think it's a God-given innate thing, right? As a baby, guess what? You're hungry, you want food. That is you looking for better. I need to satisfy this hunger in my tummy, right? When a child starts to grow, it wants to move.
Okay.
There's that tendency to want better.
Progress.
Instead of just sitting down here and waiting for somebody to carry me all around, you want to crawl. You crawl. Then you're like, I can do faster. I can do better. You start walking. You start running. Then it's time to drive, So I think
sometimes we even made an attempt to fly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why we're all over the world right now. Flying. And then people are already talking about the fact that, what do they call it? Where you can just time travel. Sort of that you live here, in my olden days, they say you lift up one leg and you're somewhere else. But people are already talking about that. That as human beings, we should be able to go from here to Nigeria within split seconds. I don't know when that would be, maybe not in my generation, but as human beings, because even the scripture tells us that if it's in their heart, they would find a way to it.
Honestly.
So I think immigration and relocation and all of that is more of the desire to do better, to be better. And once you can see it, you can unlearn what you know. Like, for instance, if you know that you're in a place where there is a place where light never goes out, it's difficult for you to be in a place where light goes out and not desire to experience that. So I think, honestly, it's God-given, it's innate, the desire for better, for more. It's just in every one of us. That's why people leave the village, they come to the town.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's just the desire.
So there are different forms and fashion, degree, or whatever you like to call it. So depending on your exposure, because I also realized, KDO, that your exposure informs what you want.
Oh, yeah.
So because if you couldn't see beyond a certain place, then you can't go beyond that certain place.
How far your aspirations
Oh, yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So that's why, you have to be connected to the right people so that you can have the right pictures. Because somebody said, what was that thing about the Yoruba proverb about your father's farmland being the biggest?
Oh, yeah.
Because you haven't
gone. You have not gone anywhere. So you think your father's farmland is the biggest in the entire world.
Oh, my goodness.
Until you go somewhere like that. Anyway,
okay, so now, still talking about this. So how exactly do you then know where? Okay, so now that we're talking about exposure and all of that, and right now, KDO, does it not feel like certain countries are beginning to close up? Like we mentioned, because those videos that recently showed up, especially from the beginning of this year, UK came up with theirs. What's it called? Canada came up with theirs, the educational stream, and everybody's like, oh my goodness, they're closing their doors.
No, actually, I don't think it's closing of doors.
Okay.
Again, remember how we started. It's in every human being to want to do better.
Yeah.
It's the same way. It's in every country to want to do better by their citizens, right? So when they're bringing these policies, the idea is want to improve the life of their people, their citizenry, then to improve the life of the person coming in.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into the details of the educational, get shot in that people are screaming about right now. But honestly, at the bottom of that is to help the people coming in, because we see a lot people coming and they're struggling. But back to your question, it's not like some places are getting more saturated or the doors are shutting down. It's more of people want better for their people too. Why would I want to bring everybody in?
Oh, good. So what that means, KDO, is actually you should respect these countries, because what they're doing is they're trying to re-strategize. So they're not just opening their borders and like, oh, everybody come, no. And then you come in, you suffer. So what they're trying to do is, hey, guys, hold on. I know you want us, right? So, but let's re-strategize.
The housing. You have a house. You're going to have a gate. You're going to have a door, whatever it is. When somebody knocks on your door, you check first. You don't just open and say, oh, I'm a good person, come in. No. Because that's why these countries, we want to go there. Because they're good. Working. They say everybody, once you have the desire, just come in. Things will come crashing fast. So the essence of all of these things is, one, to ensure that they have the right framework in place that brings the right kind of people, people that will grow their economy. Don't let's get it twisted. Canada is not asking you to come in because they like your face.
Oh, yeah.
UK is not saying come with your dependents, or don't come with your dependent because they love what you look like. It's all about strategy. There are needs in these countries and they want people that can fill them. So that's why they need to always sit back. And like I always say in coaching, when you have a plan, you don't just keep going.
Yeah, sorry, we forgot that part. She's also a coach. Yeah.
We don't just keep going. You have to at some point stop, reevaluate, realign, retweak if necessary, and then proceed. You keep going, So that's what these countries are doing. They're just sitting back, realigning, checking. Canada, for instance, there is now a problem with accommodation. So they can't just say, bring
so keep coming.
No, because people within, we have a voice too. People are saying, okay, what are you guys doing about this thing? So that is what is informing all of these new rules and regulations.
Just so we can take a step back
and say, what are we doing?
And then
move forward. Yes, we want 500,000 immigrants in a year, but where are they going to? How are we going to take care of them?
What jobs would they do? What schools would they attend?
Exactly, and we don't want to bring you in. I mean, I say we now because some people are like, oh, so she's not East Canadian. But the idea is, look, they don't want you coming in, and then people that are already in are suffering. In under 10 years, nobody will want to come here, right? So that they can remain viable, then effective, and then their structures are working. That's why they are putting all of these things in place. True. So when they say, and honestly, I'm going to digress a little bit into the study thing. Let's go there. I know that before now, it was $10,000 you needed for a year as a student for living expenses. But trust me, that is not working. Accommodation alone for a month in some provinces, take for instance, Ontario. For you to get an accommodation that would be suitable for you, particularly if you have dependents, you cannot spend less than 8,200 to 8,500. So if accommodation alone is 8,500, multiplied by 12. Okay. So 10,000 is not going to come.
So yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're already trying to multiply by 1,000 something.
Yeah, this one is crazy. I know because the Nigerian naira is losing its value. Yeah. But look at it from the standpoint of the Canadian. Okay. I know that minimum, let's even say 1,000 to make it easy, but I know that you're not like to get an accommodation for 1,000 if you have a dependent, meaning that you and a child, you and your spouse. But if it's you alone, you could get a room in a 5-bedroom house for 1,000. So let's even say that's what you did. You came alone. 1,000 for a month. 12 months in a year, that's 10,000. I mean, that's 12,000 already. Yeah. So 10,000 living expenses will not cut it. We have not talked about feeding. Yeah. We have not talked about clothing. Big deal. We have not talked about traveling and then taking transit and all of that. So 10,000 is not been working. Yeah. So it's in the interest of the people coming in that they are making these rules. Yeah. In fact, sometimes when I look at it, even 20K, it's just you're gonna manage it. So it's not like they're trying to witch hunt our people. It's just because they know what you need and they need to work towards that. Yeah. And I get it that naira now is like 1,000 plus. So when you're thinking 10,000, you're thinking no, you're thinking 20,000. So it seems like they don't like us, they don't want us. But that's not true. Okay, so having said that, so now let's look at, so should I then, I'm thinking on someone's behalf right now, hopefully, because like I said, you have the chance to ask your questions. You can just start dropping those questions right now. So someone is thinking, okay, so with all of these stringent rules and all that, would I still have a chance? Absolutely. Can I still try? Absolutely. At least in the in Canada, in the US, UK, wherever the case may be. But I always say to people, the number one thing is information. Yes. You need to know what you need. Yeah. There has to be. I know for a lot of us, we don't like that honest assessment. You know, when I say honest assessment, I mean, okay, this is what is required on the one side. Okay. This is what I have on the other side. Can it work? Honestly, not everybody will relocate. Yeah. And not everybody will relocate through maybe the study path or PR path or whatever path. There are different kind of paths. Yes. There is a nanny path. There is so many other options that you will have. If, for instance, you can't do the express entry or you can't do study because of funds and express entry, you're thinking, okay, now in the pool, I'm already 40 years. Yeah. I have only bachelors. So what are my chances? It's almost non-existent because there are 25-year-olds that have masters, can also speak French. So when you're looking at the pool, these guys already have 560 and you are 250 or 300. What are the chances that you're going to get paid? So, but that should not be the end of life. Yes. So you can also look at other streams. But the key thing, guys, is information. Yeah. And if you don't have information, you're going to pay for it barely. Because somebody is either going to scam you or tell you what is not, just to collect the little money you have in your hands. Yes. So yes, we can totally do it, but we just need to find which stream would work for me. So KDO, I want to hold that thought about getting the information. Okay, so guys, if you're just coming in, you're welcome. This is Relocating Right. I am Toluwalade Summit, the host here, and this is my guest and my sister KDO, all right, of the Successful Immigrant. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly do so right now. It's the simplest thing you could ever do. Just click on that button on your device. And secondly, would you please like, just please like.
this video, okay? And if you're going to watch later, if you're watching later, please make sure you do just that, and please share this information with other people. All right, KDO, let's go back to that information. So how do we get the information?
So I say the easiest way to get this information is go to the government website.
Okay, yeah.
They've got everything in there.
Which is
the IRCC website.
All right.
Which is
the moment you type that, it will just in fact, the moment you're doing IR,
it will complete it for you.
Google knows where you're going.
IRCC website. It's the official Canadian website. It's on there. Even if you go to Canada.ca, it will direct you there.
Yeah.
So all path leads to IRCC website. IRCC.
Yeah.
The information is there, and the all different options wherewith you can come in is also there. But our people don't like to
read. I know. So the same thing for the UK government. You would not believe it. You know, I know one of my sisters, you know, back home, who got this information because she took her time to read from the UK government site, and she found out about this there's a route that she took with her family. I can't remember. In fact, I think I have to bring her on Relocating Right. But it was amazing. Nobody told her. Nobody did the processing for them. They did it by themselves.
Absolutely.
Because she read, painstakingly, and she found the information
that's what you just used. Painstakingly. Yes. People don't want to do that. When we were going to relocate, like we've been here for 7 years now.
Okay.
Going on 8.
8. Praise God.
Everything I read, I didn't have an agent, I didn't have anybody, we did it by ourselves. The information has not changed. In fact, they update it regularly. It's there.
To make it easy?
Yeah. But a man that will not read is not different from a man that cannot read. There is no difference. And bad as it may sound, someone said that if you want to keep something from a black man, put it in a book. They will not read it. So guys, please, I beg you in the name of God, read. It's your life, by the way. So that whatever I'm telling you, it's a confirmation of the things you read, and then you can challenge some of these things. So
and say,
people like reading, but the information are there. Totally
you need to read. Guys, you need to read. You need to read. So whatever nation you're trying to go to, you need to read. I have someone that I brought from Australia. We had a conversation. You can please check it up on our YouTube page. You'll find it there. But you still need to read more, because they can't possibly give you all the information in how many minutes. You know, even if we go on YouTube checking up all those videos, nobody can accurately, or put it this way, fully detailed information about what you're looking for. You still have to read. So emphasis on read. If this was church, I would say to your neighbor, go and read.
Right. Say to yourself, I need to read. You got to read. There are no shortcuts to it.
Okay, so we talked about the circumstances surrounding movement. So can we help somebody on the other hand? What are the circumstances that one could consider to say, stay back where you are?
I am a person of faith. So there's no way, there's nothing I say that will not still go back to that, because that's the foundation of who I am. Whatever decisions you want to make in life, you had better be consulting the person that knows. And that is God. So you want to ask questions. Is it even the right thing for me to do in the first place? Because it could say stay and flourish. It could say move and flourish. Whether you stay or you move, it's really of no consequence as long as you're following his instruction. Because he knows. And he could say move and tell you that turbulence ahead, but at the end of the turbulence, it's going to be peace. So you know what you are getting yourself into. But again, how do you listen to God? This is not church. We're not going to go into all that. But the most important thing is, when you get to a point in your heart and you know that, man, I'm done. Maybe you're really done. And done means that if you're not careful, you're going to be checking out of every other thing you're supposed to be doing. So that might be also an indication. For me, I had 2 main reasons for moving, which I'm not sure if I should be sharing it here, but there were things that
personal to you.
I could not cope anymore. I just knew that I needed to. I just had to. But again, had to is not to the point of desperation. Whilst you're waiting, you need to keep living. You need to keep doing the things you're doing.
Oh yes, please. Can we allow that? That is so important. Don't give up on life because of the next level.
Yeah, exactly.
We walk into the next level.
While you're waiting, you've got to keep keeping on. If you have a job, keep working your job.
And hard too. Yes.
Like, don't become, lazy and just waiting for them to fire you, right? And if you have a business, don't begin to eat all the profit and everything at the same time.
Yeah.
What about if you're really ready to relocate and you sell that business for a very huge sum of money?
Yeah.
So don't kill your current dream because of the future dream.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting, just keep doing what you're doing. But so search inward. Is this really for me?
Yeah.
For some people, I've had to tell them, maybe you need to take a vacation first.
Yeah.
So the place you want to go before you just up and go. Because there have been people that got and like,
this wasn't what I came for.
Particularly if you were thinking Canada, you came visiting into Canada, you came in May, August, you ain't saying nothing yet, and you are screaming it's cold. Just wait for it.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to do enough research about where you're going. Is it for me? Yeah. When I was going to have now I'm going to date myself.
Okay.
So I wanted to have my second master's. Okay. I wanted to travel outside of the country. I had two options, UK and Canada. Would you believe I got an admission in Canada? When I looked at the temperature, I said, menopause. Hey, who has bewitched me? Not happening. I'm not coming to Canada. So I went to UK. 2008, 2009. For my master's in civil engineering. So that's what I did. Because at that point, I could not imagine myself in a minus 40 degrees. So it was not even a consideration for me. Yeah. But fast forward, 8 years later,
here you are.
It began to look like it. I'm like,
yes, okay.
This Canada thing. I had a friend that was always saying, okay, me come now. Hey, code. What code? Then I started researching. And I realized that even with the code, it's about layering up. It's about whatever.
So there's a way to adjust.
To it. But I guess the point we're trying to make here is, one, you need to look inwards.
Yes.
Look inwards.
That's and you need to be sincere with yourself. There's a whole lot of sincerity that goes with this. Asking of questions that sometimes nobody else can answer for you.
Yeah. If we talk about questions, I've got lots and lots of questions people ask me. Oh, my children, oh, my this one. I said, your children is the least of your problems. Better think about yourself, because your kids are going to be fine. If you cannot raise a God-fearing kid. Now, listen to me, somebody.
Yes.
If you cannot raise a God-fearing kid in Nigeria, you will not raise it in Canada. And if you think that your kids are God-fearing because you're in Nigeria, they come to Canada, they become wayward, it's the life from the pit of hell.
Yeah.
Who you are is who you are, regardless. Yes. I know that the environment can, influence
a few things.
But if you've trained your child well, properly, they will not come here and become children of Belial. No. They will stay in God. Yeah. But the most important thing is we are setting the right foundation. Because I notice what I get a lot from parents. Yeah. That, that's Canada, go to UK. What will happen to my children? My children, because I'm hearing all of these things. This person's child went there and they became... I'm like, maybe because while we're in Nigeria, we were like, my husband and myself, we were teenage counselors. Okay. So there were so many things we saw and heard that even parents didn't know about. Because when a child comes to you in confidence and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you have to counsel, there are some things you can't even tell the parent, because even if you tell the parent, they will drop dead at your feet. So maybe because we had that experience, we knew what was happening even in Nigeria. Yeah. I'm like, sin is not geographical.
No, it's not. So the devil does not live in one place.
He doesn't live in Nigeria alone. And not only in Canada.
And it's not only in Iran.
Exactly. The devil is everywhere. Yeah. So just know that you're doing the right. As long as you know you're doing the right thing, you're going to be okay. Your kids are going to be okay. The future is going to be fine. Yeah. But you have to
be convinced
within yourself. Yeah. The Bible says the double-minded person is unstable. You are unstable. If you're unstable, you will reap the reward of instability.
Yeah.
But we've got to once you know that this is what you want to do.
Yeah, stay with it.
Stay with it.
And then because that actually takes you through those seasons that feels like, oh my goodness, how did I get here?
The seasons will come. Trust me, the seasons will come. Like in anywhere.
Yes, anywhere. Yeah. I mean, round the clock in a year, KDO, there's winter,
fall, summer, spring.
It goes like that.
Yeah. Even in life.
Yes. Absolutely, so we adjust to it. Now, so let me just quickly ask, okay, so if you're coming into Canada, so we're zeroing into Canada right now. So how do I make a choice of that province?
So that's a very pregnant question.
Yeah.
So it's the same way you made the decision to leave Nigeria to go to Canada. Why didn't you go to Australia?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to the US?
Netherlands.
Why didn't you go to the UK? Netherlands, why didn't you do that? There's a reason you came to Canada. So now Canada has how many provinces? You need to sit down and ask yourself. When I was coming, I asked questions, and I was told I came to Calgary, Alberta for 2 reasons. One, as an engineer, you've got options in Alberta. 2, Calgary is multicultural.
So profession.
Number 1. And then I was interested in the place where they were accepting. I'm not saying the other provinces are not accepting. Please don't get me wrong. But what I heard was that Calgary is very multicultural, meaning that many, and it has its own challenges too. When something is multicultural, so just like your own culture is acceptable, it means other people's culture.
No.
So no, it means they are
too.
Multi, right? Everybody's culture is acceptable. So if you're looking for a place where you will be accepted, you better be ready to accept other people's culture too.
Oh, I see that.
So that's why we came to Calgary, because it was multicultural, and I wanted a place where, one, I didn't leave Nigeria to remain in Nigeria. I wanted to experience other people's culture.
I see. And I like that. Because there's a tendency to move into a country and then you're looking for your community there.
Which is not a bad thing.
So God help you. You can't go to Germany. That's what it means.
If you are still looking for a place,
because you will look far.
So you understand what I mean? So I just wanted multicultural. So that was it for me. But there are some people that they want a place where it's more of a student environment or school, depending on what you want for your kids, you know. And then what again? So it varies what you.
So depending on what you're looking for. So it still boils down to this information. So boils down to this, asking questions. So for instance, from what KDO said, you would notice that the first thing she mentioned was her profession. And I think that is so important, to consider where your profession would thrive, because it's not in all provinces that they do well. So you have to find out which it is, even if it doesn't.
Agriculture.
Yes.
You can't be going to, I don't know, Toronto. I don't know where you want to go and plant there. You have to look for a place, right? Even though when we go, that's another thing about just being convinced. When we got to Calgary, we found the place we're going to live, all of that nuances. We were settled in our spirit. Then when I was now looking for the job, somebody said to me, you have to go to Yellowknife, or that's another province entirely. That's where the jobs are. I'm telling you, for engineering, because Yellowknife is very cold. Most people don't want to go there. So they figure that it's more of low-hanging fruit to get a job there, because number one, most people don't want to go. And here, there's a lot of competition because people are here, right? So they just felt, go to Yellowknife, go to Yukon, go all those way. But I was settled in my spirit.
So coming to where you were coming.
So I knew the work was going to happen here. Even though at the end of the day, I was still in Alberta, although my first job was not really in Calgary, but was in Alberta, so I had to fly in, fly out, travel back and forth. But you've got to be stable. You've got to have that peace.
About where you are and about where you're going.
And like we said, information, ask questions. I know some people go to places because their friends are there. If you have a friend that there are some people we call your flat tire friends. My friend is different from my flat tire friends. There are some friends that you will call them, they will answer you the first time. After that, their phone will be ringing till forever. They're your friends.
No, KJ, I've heard some very sad stories, like somebody making a promise, I'll pick you up at the airport. Do you know that people actually disappointed? From that point, as in like somebody gets to the airport and trying to call their friends and the phone isn't going through anymore. I know that those things are wicked. So I guess,
that's what I'm saying. So, but if this person is a flat tire friend, that friend you will call when your tire is flat and they will come rain or hell or high water, then maybe you want to go there. I've seen students that will say to me, I have my auntie. I say, your auntie, how many bedrooms is she living? Say, I will leave my auntie. Have you asked the auntie? The auntie say, come and live? Because somebody is living in a big house doesn't mean they can accommodate you, right? So you've got to do your research very, very well. You might have a friend there, but are they willing to help? Sometimes we are better in a new place where you don't know nobody and you ask God and angels will come and start to you.
No, seriously, I don't know about that. I mean, those kind of stories, oh no. We were still in Fort McMurray recently, and some of our people there sharing their stories. I mean, it was guys, those stories were amazing. I wouldn't even just say, I mean, like we're dropping like this as we were talking, like God showed up for them. It's not like the Calgary of this world. It was like smaller cities.
I was there. My first job is
and getting to that kind of place in this entire world, and God was already there waiting
for you. So you've got to know that you have peace about this place. And peradventure, again, some people are listening. They've been stung by people promising and not fulfilling. I'm not the devil's advocate, but I'm also going to say, take it with a pinch of salt. Because sometimes people are going through stuff, they will not tell you. Forget all the Instagram posts. Forget all the Facebook posts. Oh, look at me now. Oh, father in the world. Oh, this is my new car. Forget all of that. People are going through stuff. So when they realize that now rubber has met the road, the story changes. So just free people and trust God.
Honestly, talking about that, I mean, I believe God just sent us right there. And for everything about life generally, I think that you should actually not be too hard on yourself or too hard on other people. I mean, after all, how much is that life? No, you know, that you want to, you know, be in bitterness or be in anger towards someone. I mean, they're human beings, okay? Just the same way we're humans too. So I'm just generally saying, we are just saying that, look, you got to walk through this life, through the different phases of your life, knowing that it's not about putting your trust in men. If men help, just know it's God sending you help.
Oh, yeah.
And if they don't help, just know there's help somewhere else. And then move on. I like that conversation. Now, so let's talk about some locations being good for certain things. So there's this joke about one of our daughters who went somewhere and to a particular location to school, and she soon discovered that, oh, her family can actually settle here. So it's a school. It's
a school community.
Predominantly, yes. You know, like back home, we have some places like that. You know, like the Agoyawoye, you know, university and all that. So if you go to that town, predominantly is students. So when they're on vacation, the place is empty. So how do you not get scammed?
So now I'm actually praying in my heart that God give me wisdom. Yeah, I don't want to mention some schools, but you know those schools that give you admission quickly, those schools, the locations where they are, you know, there are some schools that just apply, you are almost certain you get admission. Locations, your family is not likely to be happy there because it's predominantly, it will be predominantly a student community where, and you're saying to yourself, when I come, I work and pay my school. You will not work and pay your school because there's no job there, right? Because there are no jobs there. Even school for your young child is going to be like, it's going to be a stretch, right? Because most of the people in that community are students, and the adults that are there, they are like adults. They are not adults with babies. So those kind of, and a lot of these communities exist in Ontario.
Oh, yes.
So I'm telling you now, but where the schools are, where they will quickly say, come. So the community are just plain student community. People are there to go to school. Of course, there will be some life, but it won't be family life. It will be academic life. So it's finding that balance. Again, you want to ask yourself that, that's where the cheap school is. Cheap school, yes. But are you going to pay higher on the long run? Because when your spouse comes with you, you can't get a job. Or your spouse is going to have to live in a different province or a different town altogether.
That's what it's going to look like, yes.
And then you're not there. So now, the problem with that is you've paid cheap school fees or just manageable school fees. You have to get an accommodation here. Your spouse has to get that. So you're now running two homes. You're buying two sets of everything. So at the end of the day, you're almost better off in a school where it seems to be a bit expensive, but your husband is able to get a job, and then your kids are able to settle in school. School bus is available to pick your students, maybe like 2 blocks away from the houses. So those are all the things you want to, but I get it, that it's difficult to have a good idea of these things before you get here. But again, research will be your friend.
Yes.
Research will be your friend. And you can do as low as saying, going to Google and say, student or academic communities in whatever province you want to go to. Maybe it's in Ontario. It will bring out a list from Kitchener to Brantford to all of these places that are more or less just academic. That life, other forms of life, particularly employment, is almost non-existent. So you will do well to do that and then be able to find that
the balance. So in addition to what KD is saying, I think one of the things that people who have been able to survive in those environments have been able to do, you know, Nigeria, they carry last now. What they've been able to do is, if they had skills, if you have skills, they survived well. So if they have two things, number one, you came in by yourself, not with family, or you came in being married and maybe there's no child yet. So those are easier circumstances. Or so you come in and then you have skills. Like you have IT skills where you can work online. So meaning that you can work for anyone from anywhere. That's one. Then secondly, that you have skills like a hand.
Oh, like you make hair.
Handy things, you make hair. So there are other students there. So they'll patronize, or you barb, or you, what else? Make cakes, pastries, you know, so stuff like that, make soups. Oh, yes. You know, so if you're not any of those things, I'm not sure you should consider just the same way you just said it now. It's not, you know, you may not find it funny. And I realized, KDO, that those things are stressors, marriage stressors. They stress, I mean, because if money is a problem, and especially if you're not able to agree quickly on things, I don't think it's a good place to start and, you know, put your family into all of that kind of wahala, if I can put it that way. Now, do we have questions? Do you have any questions? There are no questions yet. Guys, if you have questions, this is your time to ask questions, because we're going to be rounding off right now. Don't forget, this is Relocating Right, and there's so many videos that are up on the page already that will be a blessing to you, tremendous blessing to you. So please let me encourage you to go right there and get them. So if you haven't subscribed, kindly do so now, and like. And of course, this is KDO of the Successful Immigrant. I'm sure that she's been a blessing to you. So KDO, last words right now. Last words.
So for relocation, one thing I always say to people, particularly once after you've landed, we already said while you're waiting, make sure your life is continuing. So I say to people, when you've landed, calm down. Calm down. In fact, what I say to people, I say, you're not on a visiting visa. That's after 6 months, you have to go. You are here forever. Even if you say, I'm here for my children, after they've settled down, go back. It's not a 1 year, 2 years, even 5-year journey. Maybe 10 years, 20-year journey, right? So take it, calm down. Sit down, ask questions. The same way you got in here. Ask questions and plan. Plan for success. You will hear a lot of stories, good, bad, and ugly. It's on you to choose the one that will apply to you.
I like that.
You know, there is a Yoruba saying, I don't know how to say it in English, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say Yoruba here. But one thing I know is that no matter how the world goes, they say if you pound yam in a small bowl and then you cook soup in a granite shell, Oluwakemi will be full.
Good.
You will eat and have enough.
Amen.
Even when the economy is screaming, when things are not working for others. So you've got to believe that you are worthy of success. Your family would be successful.
Amen.
The work of your hands will be successful. Your studies will be successful. Your life will turn out well. So it's very, very, very important that the same faith that brought you in, you have to hold on to that faith. Don't expect that everything would happen. In fact, I say, as an engineering student, you go to school for 5 years before you qualify to even say you have an engineering degree. And after that, you get out, you go to the workplace, you are still learning. You are a pupil engineer. So how will I expect that now, because I got an admission, I'm now an engineer, I'm going on around, I'm an engineer, how don't I have a job? It's not going to happen. Life takes time. So please, don't because a lot of people come here and they become depressed because in their mind, they think once they enter that plane, once you get down from that plane, you see Trudeau is waiting with a flag, with your name on it, and say, come. Everything is said, work, life. No, you have to, the same way you are fighting to come in, you have to fight. When I say fight, I'm talking about the fight of faith. I'm not saying you're punching people, but you're believing, you're working hard to make a successful life. But I know that Canada, Australia, US, UK, Nigeria, anywhere we are, as long as we believe, we will thrive, we will succeed, we will do well, but we've got to believe and we've got to be patient. Be patient with yourself, be patient with the system.
Awesome. Thank you so much, KDO. So we have a question right now. This person says, do you think the ability to monetize skills like the cooking, the barbing, etc. is a bit overrated?
It's not. Because skill is king. Some of us that don't have those kind of skills that I just mentioned, we suffered for it. I cannot make hair to save my life. But I'm telling you, it's not overrated, because do you know the population of people here or anywhere in the world? But the only thing that, a word of caution though, particularly when it comes to cooking, it is regulated here. So if you're going to do under, we cannot even say it here that you're going to do behind whatever, because there are licenses and all of that thing that you should get before you start doing public selling food and all of that. But those skills are not overrated.
No,
they are needed.
Because
people are transitioning. I mean, a lot of people come in and they start with cooking, making of hair, barbing and all of that. But they go get white collar jobs and they leave it. Guess what? People are still going to eat. Those of us that we're still going to eat. So if this person has gone to pick up a job now, she's an MD of a company. Guess what? Now you are in. It's your turn. Until whatever it is, things begin to happen for you. So those skills are not overrated.
No, they are not.
And here is, in fact, better than where you and I originated from. They are respected. Ability artisans, they are respected. They earn a lot of money. The most important thing is knowing how to position yourself.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say, that if you've heard anyone complain, is perhaps the person is not well positioned.
I tell you that on site, a welder may earn more than a project manager. Welder, they have big cars, they're very, very established. They have all their gadgets, they earn better. The guy that changes your tire, winter tires and all of that, they have a tire, we call them organizers in Nigeria. But here they have a small shop and they are changing, they are living well. So skills are respected. Your carpenters, they make a lot of money. It's positioning. In fact, you see the house of a carpenter and the house of an engineer, sometimes you're scratching your head that what's going on? What's going on here? So, all of those guys, they make a lot of money. One, if you know your skill, and two, if you position yourself appropriately.
Put yourself in that community where those guys are. You announce yourself. You have to open your mouth and let people know. Make use of your social media handles and do stuff. You can't sit down in your corner. And the truth is, even back home in Nigeria, it's the same story, KDO. It's the same story. Why are some people doing better than the others? It's because some people just take it upon themselves to position themselves. And I realize that sometimes those guys who position themselves, they are not even so good.
There's a saying that best known beats best every single time. Best known beats best every single time. So you need to be, it's your trumpet. I always say, if your trumpet, blow it. If you don't play, you think I will now put down my own trumpet and be blowing your trumpet. You've got to position yourself. You've got to do right by yourself.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is so awesome. So guys, we need to go around. But I tell you, after this video, there's going to be another one. And it will be uploaded. I need you to let your friends know about it. This one is going to be a topic about midlife japa. Okay, I realize that a lot of people in their 40s have been traveling, relocating. It's like I said, it's not a today thing. I mean, for years and years now, people have been doing that. But I also recognize that some people do so, and I'm hearing so much about depression, and all of that. And I guess it's because people don't have and have not put certain things in place. KDO and I are going to be discussing that, and we're going to upload it. I want you to look forward to watching that video. If you are in your midlife, or you know anybody who's in their midlife, who's planning to jackpot, or who is currently abroad, living abroad, and maybe they're not particularly happy about their lives right now, you need to watch that, okay? It will really bless you. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. KDO,
it's been an amazing time. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Always great to be here with you. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done that. And I look forward to seeing you again. There's so many videos that are going to be uploaded in the course of this week. I think about 4 videos we will upload, and each of them is going to really, really, really be a blessing to you. God bless you, and keep keeping up your hope, because it will pay off in Jesus' name. Take care. Bye.
Bye.